I think it's a fitting moment to take a look at our economy, where we were 6 months ago, what we've achieved since then, and what I believe I believe where we're headed. More than 600,000 jobs per month since it took office. More than 3 million new jobs all told. That's the fastest growth, I'm told, at this point in any administration's history. Another prediction that is my favorite one, I must add, is that if I got elected, I'd bring the end to capitalism. I never understood that one, but so we could help families and small businesses weather the ups and downs as the economy recovers from a historic pandemic, and there are going to be ups and downs. For the first time, monthly payments began going out to nearly every working family raising a child in the United States of America. It doesn't have to hold our economy back any longer. But the only way we put it behind us is if more Americans get vaccinated. We also know that as our economy has come roaring back, we've seen some price increases. Some folks have raised worries that this could be a sign of persistent inflation. But that's not our view. Our experts believe, and the data shows, that most of the price increases we've seen were expected and are expected to be temporary. Reality is you can't flip the global economic light back on and not expect this to happen. I want to be clear. My administration understands that if we were to ever experience unchecked inflation over the long term, that would pose a real challenge to our economy. So while we're confident that isn't what we're seeing today, we're going to remain vigilant about any response that is needed. These steps will enhance our productivity, raising wages without raising prices. That won't increase inflation. It will take the pressure off of inflation, give a boost to our workforce, which leads to lower prices in the years ahead. So if your primary concern right now is inflation, you should be even more enthusiastic about this plan. And as we promote fair competition in our economy, thank you all for listening. May God bless you, and I'll take a few questions.
Mr. President, you said last week that companies and platforms like Facebook are killing people by letting...
Let me be precisely what I said. I'm glad you asked me that question. One, I had just read that on the Facebook pointed out that it was pointed out that Facebook, of all the misinformation, 60% of the misinformation came from 12 individuals. That's what the article said. So I was asked that question about what do I think is happening. Facebook isn't killing people. These 12 people are out there giving misinformation. Anyone listening to it is getting hurt by it. It's killing people. It's bad information. My hope is that Facebook, instead of taking it personally that somehow I'm saying Facebook is killing people, that they would do something about the misinformation, the outrageous misinformation about the vaccine. That's what I meant.
Done enough, in your opinion, to stop?
I haven't, to be completely honest with you, I don't know if they did anything today. Up to over the weekend, I don't think they had, but I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
Will you hold them accountable if they don't do more to stop the spread?
When you say hold accountable, I just want to, I'm not trying to hold people, I'm trying to make people look at themselves, look in the mirror. Think about that misinformation going to your son, your daughter, your relative, someone you love. That's what I'm asking, all the way in the back.
Thank you, Mr. President. At what point would you consider inflation unchecked to a point at which you would either consider taking action or you would want to see the Fed takes action? And secondly, why do you believe that the budget bill is appropriate legislation for a pathway to citizenship?
Well, first of all, I think we need to find pathways to citizenship. The budget bill is an appropriate way to get around the filibuster to be able to make a judgment as to whether or not they should have a pathway. That's for the parliamentarian to decide, though, not for Joe Biden to decide. The first part of the question was?
It was on inflation. You mentioned unchecked inflation.
There's nobody suggesting there's unchecked inflation on the way. No serious economist. That's totally different. I mean, look, the stock market is higher than it has been in all of history, even when it's down this month. Even down this month. Now, I don't look at the stock market as a means by which to judge the economy like my predecessor did. But he'd be talking to you every day for the last 5 months about how the stock market is so high. higher than any time in history, still higher than any time in history. So that's not how I judge whether or not we have economic growth.
Mr. President, on China and cyber hacking.
She jumps up before you do.
Effectively, your administration is naming and shaming China, but no sanctions. Why, and is that effective enough?
They're still determining exactly what happened. The investigation is not finished. Thank you all very much.
What is your understanding of the biggest difference between what they've done versus what Russia's done in terms of cyber hacking?
That'd take a longer explanation. No, we don't. I have to go see the King of Jordan.
Just one quick follow-up on
Look, to the best of my knowledge, and I'm getting a report tomorrow morning on this, a detailed report, my understanding is that the Chinese government, not unlike the Russian government, is not doing this themselves, but are protecting those who are doing it, and maybe even accommodating them being able to do it. That may be the difference. Thank you.
Should the Olympics go forward, Mr. President?
They are.